Hello and welcome back to another Tongues episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today being joined once again by
Hayden.
And today we're going to talk about the TMNT 2003 Season 2 Episode 25, The Big Brawl, Part 3. So what do you think about this episode briefly?
Briefly, I think this is another action-packed episode that is filled with mystery and shock, to be honest, and a lot of betrayals and a lot of new characters that we're seeing again. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this episode. This episode was a follow-up from the previous one, and we get to know a bit more what's about to happen and going on. And I just really liked how the action just played out with the Battle Nexus Arena. That was pretty awesome. But briefly, this was an action-packed episode that I really did like.
Yeah, let's say that, with this episode, I really did enjoy how they was able to move the plot along quite well. Sorry, and was able to like set things up in a very interesting way for the next episode and see where things go from there, which I do find to be quite interesting. And some of the fights in the episode were pretty fun with Raph versus Mikey, which I got a feeling we've got a little bit to say about that. So oh boy, where do we begin? So I guess we'll say the Battle Nexus for the last bit, because I feel like we talk about all the other bits quite quickly there, because I thought there isn't really all too much to really talk about with the other bits. So the Domyo, he's going for a meeting with his son, but then he gets attacked by the Shadow Assassins, and Splinter is blamed for the assassination. What do you think about that bit there?
To be honest, I really wasn't expecting I keep forgetting those names. I keep calling them the Dark Ninjas, but
Shadow Assassins.
The Shadow Assassins. Thank you. So the Shadow Assassins come in. They try and assassinate the Daijo. But of course, Damio. Thank you. Gosh, Daijo, Damio. Ugh, names. Right, but yeah, no, seeing the Damio get attacked by the Shadow Ninjas was interesting because it just shows how far the corruption and the power grab that the son wants to get. He wants the power, he wants it all, so he would kill his own father, his own flesh and blood, just to take it. And so I thought that was pretty cool, to say the least.
I mean, honestly, but I really enjoy the elements for the Ultimate Ninja would go to just to get his way, and I feel like it's somewhat a bit respectable at a certain point, but at the same time, it's a little bit messed up to see that he'll go this far just to get where he wants. And I'd just say, it was, I'd say it's a really disappointing bit, just because he's supposed to be the ruler of this dimension where all these warriors go to try and fight and compete to be the number one warrior and all that kind of stuff. And yet in this battle here, he stands up, he loses his staff, and then gets stabbed. Out of all the people that you would think that could actually have a good fight, it would possibly be him, and yet he gets stabbed on the first attempt. I feel like he definitely could have fought back a bit, especially if he's supposed to be the ruler of this universe.
Yeah, the most powerful guy in the multiverse as well, right? Surely he would be able to get a few hits in first before he then gets stabbed, you know?
Yeah, it's annoying just because I feel like it definitely would have been he's definitely the character that would be able to put up a good fight against any other characters such as Shredder or Splinter, but seeing him here, he loses very easily. It's frustrating because it's him. He's supposed to be the powerful person, and yet he gets slashed once. Great. But also found it quite weird. I don't know if I'd say weird, but because I understand where the Ultimate Ninja is coming from, where he's trying to blame Splinter and trying to get possible blame onto him quite quickly. That's a bit understandable, but at the same time, I'd say that it's quite weird. For no one else really questions it. That it's Splinter that's in there, and he's one who supposedly assassinated him. I just don't buy that no one else questioned it. I find that to be quite weird.
Yeah, that does seem weird, because even I hold on a minute. You just saw him with the Daijo, they're best mates. Why would he do that? You got to question these things.
Yeah. And this is another thing which I found really weird as well. That the Shadow Assassins, they can come up through the floor to attack attack the Dumyo, but when they want to leave, they go through windows and actually break the windows. why can they go through the floor again?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? Leave no trace, leave no evidence behind.
And then again, my Splinter, he cut through the door. Why couldn't they just go through that? There were so many other options.
Decided to jump out the window of like a 50-foot story building and just like jump. It just doesn't make sense. They have all these powers and abilities, but they don't use them.
Yeah. Well, after that, we do get to see my Splinter. He's actually in like jail, and then the Ultimate Ninja comes in and reveals his whole plan, and even the Draco, he reveals himself. What different about that bit there?
Seeing Draco and of course the Ultimate Ninja reveal their plans to Splinter was pretty cool. I really did like how Draco came into this, because originally when we first saw the hooded figure talking to the Ultimate Ninja, I did have my doubts that it's like, okay, I did have my thoughts, sorry, of him being Draco, because he has the figure, he has the claws, the green eyes gave it away quite a lot. And so I'm thinking, okay, that's Draco. That's Draco for sure. He's here. He's back. After all this time, he wants revenge. So that was pretty cool to see, and how it unveiled and how Splinter reacted, because he's been imprisoned wrongly, and now he's finding out about all these secrets. The turtles are in trouble. It's not going well for Splinter, unfortunately.
Well, I just see like the Ultimate Ninja thing. I'm quite surprised when no one else is in a dungeon and never heard him or anything like that. But I just say that with Draco, I just say like, especially here, he just really feels like so unimportant and just not really a character that's like actually worth putting into this story. Because I'd say like with all the other characters you got in this story, with Ultimate Ninja, Daimyo, Usagi Jimbo, like Yoji, and then all the other like multiverses and all that kind of stuff. I say that like, it's quite weird to just introduce a new character here and try and make him out to be like a really bad character and all that kind of stuff. It just feels like so forced in to try and make it like seem like a much bigger like story than where most likely he is, which is annoying because I feel like Draco, he has like a lot of potential to be a very interesting character, especially a character that goes after Splinter in particular. I know that I've got Shredder who does something similar to that, but at the same time, he doesn't. He mainly goes after the turtle. So I feel like having like a character that goes after Splinter specifically could have been like a really cool thing, especially like for like a revenge for Splinter. That could have been a really cool story. But seeing how they do it here in the show, it really feels forced into the show and doesn't really feel like he gets the attention that he really deserves. But I don't know how you feel about him, or if you just think he's like a really cool character or anything like that.
To be honest, I think Draco. Well, I don't know. I can't say too much because I don't know the full story yet, and of course, we still got one more episode to go. But I feel like Draco should have more importance within this episode because he wants revenge on Splinter. And to be honest, this is only just my thinking here, but I think he's playing both sides. He's playing the Daimyo, he's playing the Ultimate Ninja, all for revenge on Splinter. That's what I think is going on here. But I really wish that is the case, because that would be such a power grab and a power dynamic. And what a twist,
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about this stuff in the medical bay bit. So this bit, I want to first start off by, this is possibly one of the worst doctors in the entire multiverse. If you see someone that and it's being injected with like poison, and goes, you see someone that got stabbed. What is he doing? How is that supposed to help anyone?
To be honest, I thought he was having a stroke halfway through. He's like, oh my gosh, is this guy alright? Is this guy an actual doctor?
Yeah, I mean, literally anyone else would have been better. I mean, even like Isagi and Johnny, who aren't like trained professionally to do any medical stuff, they're able to help Leo a lot more than like that one guy go.
Yeah. To be honest, thanks to Leonardo and oh my gosh, what's his name? I forgot.
Usagi?
Usagi, thank you. Usagi, yeah, thanks to Leo, not Leo, Donnie and Usagi, yeah, he was managed to actually find what was going on with Leo, Jesus. Oh, it's been a long week.
Well, I feel like that bit was like very obvious, considering that like they all saw the dart on Leo.
Yeah.
And decided to take it out, and then it was like, oh, I wonder where it could be. Like, I'm pretty sure with a dart, there would at least like be some sort of blood coming out because of being like, actually pierced his skin and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or any sort of like marking around it. But no, we need to use magic crystals or healing crystals, shall we say? Wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Yeah, to be honest, this is like some weird witchcraft that's going on here.
Yeah, this. I don't want to say too much because I feel like because you know how like some people could be like, oh yes, these crystals are healing crystals. All these crystals can help me through like my exams and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I don't want to get into that territory.
No,
but
we don't want that. We don't want that on us.
But at the same time, he used the crystal as a torch to try and find where the source was, despite the fact that he had a lamp, and you possibly could have seen where it was. It's
Doesn't make any sense. Surely you would do a physical examination first on your patient to see if there was anything physically wrong with them, instead of just going and having a stroke over them, like that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then also like, I like how like Dumyo, he's being like slashed or like stabbed or anything like that, and all he wants to do is like.
This doesn't make any sense.
He's got to be the worst doctor ever. I mean, I know that there are like really bad doctors on TV and all that kind of stuff, but at least they went to medical school. This is just like some drug dealer they found.
Oh, this guy. He's probably just like some medicinal herbs and some stuff, and he's just smoking it, and then he just goes to his patients and then does all that weird mind stuff on him. It just doesn't make any sense.
These are his only two patients that we see in the show, and they both survive, but not because of him.
Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta fire that doctor. Like, that doctor's gotta go.
I'm pretty sure that, like, this is the only time we ever see the doctor. And good. Thank Christ for that.
Yeah, thank you. That is... Yeah, I wouldn't trust this doctor with my life. I wouldn't.
Yeah, like, literally anyone else would have been better. And like, they did prove it with like Donnie and Usagi actually showing that they actually helped Leonardo. Oh my. But yeah, okay. Either way, moving on. Of course, I feel like we just keep going on about. So okay, yeah. So after that, we do get to see the Shadow Assassins. They come back to try and fight or kill the Dumyo, and we do get to see Usagi and Donnie. They try to hold them off. What do you think about that fight bit there?
Seeing the fight with the Shadow Ninjas and the Damio and Donnie, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, they tried to finish the job off, but of course Donnie and Usagi, thank you. Donnie and Usagi come in, they save the day, and I thought that was pretty cool, with the Shadow Ninjas coming in from all different sides. It was... I'm not gonna lie, surely after the last encounter with the Shadow Ninjas, surely they would be able to defeat them, but of course there are more of them now, so... but yeah, no, I thought that was really cool seeing Donnie and Usagi just fight together as brothers after Donnie had his doubts, because we all saw that Donnie had his doubts after Leo got poisoned, and Donnie was questioning Usagi about him in the battle and how he would have played it out. But of course, in the end, they became like brothers in arms, and they fought together against the common foe, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well, I have to say, like, I mean, I quite enjoyed the fight, seeing how like these characters were fighting off against the Shadow Assassins. I thought it was like pretty cool to see that it was like a pretty difficult battle, and it was going all around the whole thing, which I thought was like pretty cool to see. And I was actually about the same time, like seeing how like close the like, assassins got to finishing him off was also pretty interesting. And but at the same time, with like going on about like how these sexual assassins are like so powerful and so dangerous and that kind of stuff, But yeah, if you like, but yeah, like Turtles have fought like ninjas with the like chains before. I think it was like episode 6. It was the one where they found out about these disorder Tengu. And did fight like ninjas with the chains, and yet somehow now Donnie's struggling with all of it. I I don't believe for one second that he would struggle with ninjas with chains. I can understand with any other weapon, but oh, then again, I can understand like with chains, but at the same time, he has to fall against people with chains. Like, what, you know, because Anthony's been trained with Mikey all his life, so he knows how to fight off against chains and that kind of stuff. But yet here, it's somehow the most difficult weapon in the world for him to fight against. But I'd say that it was still like pretty cool to see them like all like using all different weapons, because also like got him like throwing away all the doctor's medical equipment, which I don't think that's going to make much of a difference to him. But yeah, I'd say that overall it was a pretty decent fight, and I'm quite curious to see where we do take it next, because I can remember most of it from what happens in the next episode, but I can't remember all of it, so it's going to be a very fun surprise for that bit. So yeah, okay. So I guess we'll talk about the main part, all about Nexus bit, which I've got a feeling is going to be rather interesting because of the Leo and Raph bit. So after the battle from the last episode, Raph and Mikey go off to talk in the like streets or the town or wherever it is, and that's when Jen wants to make a bet on him and tries to place a bet on Mikey for 200 to 1. Would you take those odds?
200 to 1 isn't the greatest, but you know what?
But he has main character syndrome. So...
Yes, main character syndrome.
and plot armor, so...
Yeah, no, I think I'd take those bets because of the character and the plot armor. Like, I'd take those bets.
Okay. Well, with that, okay, I want to ask an interesting question. Who do you think is going to win the Battle Nexus?
Oh,
because in like how close we are, and I know who's like in the final like 4.
I really don't know, but I would like it to be Mikey, because seeing Raph's reaction to Mikey winning the Battle Nexus and everyone else being beaten by Mikey, like, come on, this is Mikey we're talking about here. Like, he's like the clown of the group. If he wins the multiversal battle of a lifetime, then he is like the ultimate ninja of the multiverse, and that just doesn't sit right with me for some reason, because it's Mikey. Like, Mikey is the clown. We all know Mikey to be this lovable, funny clown who sometimes can't win, but if he wins the Battle Nexus, he is never going to let it down one bit. He's going to rub it in his brother's faces constantly. And to be honest, I'd kind of like to see that, because it will be so funny every time they bring up the fact that, oh, I won the Battle Nexus, I know what I'm doing, you know, one of those conversations. But that would be really funny. But of course, we still got another 3 people, including Gen, who's the betting man. So I'm not too sure, but I'd like it to be Mikey, because it would just be so funny just to see Mikey rub it in their faces.
Okay, well, I guess I have to find out. Well, after that, we do get to see Mikey. He goes on about a little chant, and then he bumps into a car, and he proceeds to insult this little guy, and he turns into a big guy. What do you think about that bit there?
To be honest, I can't believe Mikey would just like be so clumsy with himself. Sure, he's excited to be like in the Battle Nexus, but then he starts being rude to this weird alien creature that he has never seen before, and then just making assumptions that he wants to fight. And of course they do, but it was just weird, really weird how it just came about. Like, Mikey's threatening this little guy, and then of course he turns big, like he grows into this massive monster type creature, and then Mikey's like, okay, let's talk this out, you know. But it was pretty funny to see that. But as well, it was weird because I didn't think he was in the excuse me, I didn't think he was in the Battle Nexus, but I guess he was kind of like roped into it, I guess, by the marshal. I'm not too sure whether he was or wasn't in the Battle Nexus before,
I'm
because
pretty sure he was, because that's the only way they can like go into the next round.
yeah, but why was he at the cart?
Hmm?
Why was he at the cart selling food, or was he just standing by the cart when it
I
happened?
think he was just standing by.
Oh, okay, makes a bit more sense. But
Well, let's say like the weird thing about him, like one, like he's small now, but yet every other time we see him, he's always big, and and this character he does make like one or two more appearances, and he is like a sort of big character. He never shrinks down to that size ever again. But it gets even weirder because in this episode, he doesn't he speaks in that gibberish language, but then for like his final appearance, he speaks English.
what?
What? Yeah. And considering that this is supposed to take place like from this episode in his last appearance, it takes place like over a year, and yet in the next appearance he's speaking full English perfectly well. I don't understand it. It is weird, a tad bit stupid, and unrealistic, shall we say? Because in fact he's supposed to be in like another dimension or universe, and yet he somehow knows English the next time we see him. What?
Maybe he's a fast learner. I don't know.
I don't think so. Just because from like what we can tell from his people, they're more warriors than all that kind of stuff. But even his people are speaking English as well.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, either way, moving on to the next bit. So after that, all the contestants they go back to the arena to find out who they'll be fighting against. And we get to see Mikey. He picks up a rope bit to fight against Claw, the big guy. And then he switches it. How is that legal? Because I feel like had we done that in real life, we definitely would have got disqualified or penalised.
Oh
or
yeah,
something like
massively.
I like how Jenda's like waited to the very last bit to just try and get onto the next round.
Hmm.
You know what? I feel like he's such a vibe.
Yeah, Gen is like, he's a betting man, he's a businessman at the end of the day, and at the moment he's winning. Like, he's winning life. If he can like beat the last round, then he's got one, he's the multiversal champion, and two, he's a rich man.
Yeah, well, I really wanted it to be him. I mean, just because like, well, it's Jen. He is such a vibe, and make him. Like, I'll say, makes it even better is like he's actually like a bounty hunter. So why is he not like more skilled? He definitely could go against like, all other turtles. I thought he could definitely like go against Usagi and win, but yet they never showcase that in any media.
Really?
Yeah, he's like he's like Usagi's like best friend, and he's like a recurring character in this world, but I don't think he's reached his full potential. But seeing him here, where he's just a bounty man or a bounty hunter who's also a gambler, makes bets, he's in it for money. He is such a vibe.
Like the gambler of the multiverse, you know?
Yeah, he really needs to come back and just have his own mini series or something like that. He is such a cool character, which I feel like he's a character that I feel like a lot of modern audiences would love just because of how he is. Yeah, so moving on to the next bit, we do get to see Mikey and Raph, they go up against each other, and we do get to see Mikey, he annoys Raph into headbutting himself into a wall. Oh boy. Would you like to begin?
Oh, now that was funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, literally seeing Mikey wind up Raph so much and him going into this rage, he just loses his cool and just runs into a wall, like, straight up. And I found it so hilarious after all the training, after all the exercises of trying to calm himself and find his inner peace. He loses it over his brother taking the mickey out of him for almost winning the battle nexus, and Raph just losing his cool about it and just runs into a wall and gets eliminated. Like, I can't make this up, to be honest. Like, it is... I just can't. Just seeing Mikey like win the match against his brother, like without even throwing a single punch, might I add. Like he didn't even draw his weapon. He just literally spoke with his words and won. Like this is like god tier level play. Like he used his enemies like anger against him, and that's the problem with Raphael. That's his downfall, his anger, his rage, and his ability to not think things through properly instead of fighting properly against his foe. That's the one thing annoyed me about Raphael, because he's done this before. He's trained, he knows what he needs to do, but he still gets enraged. And especially from his own brother as well. Like, surely the banter wouldn't plague him, but of course it did, and now he's eliminated from the grand tournament. So, and it was kind of funny. And to be honest, I was kind of shocked myself, like seeing Mikey win against Raphael and going through to the next tournament. This is where I think Mikey might win. This is the thing. And this is where my mind's going crazy, thinking, oh my god, if Mikey does win this, he becomes the multiversal champion. Like, just think about that for a second. A multiversal champion, Mikey. That would make sense.
Well, there's been weird things with Mikey and in other versions, so I feel like this must be, if it was to win, I don't think that'd be as bad as other things that he's done. So
yeah, good point.
But I mean, I'll just say that with this bit, I feel like he was I'll say it's supposed to be like the only 12 sibling fight scene that I think would have any chance of coming close to beating the like Raphael fight from the 2007 movie. But I'll say that with this fight, I mean, it's annoying because I like this fight with how they went around it, and it felt like it was really in character for what they're trying to do. But at the same time, it does feel a little bit like rather disappointing because it wasn't like a true fight. It was just Raph just like throwing his arms around. So like it's not on that front, but it's still cool like seeing Mikey like using his like knowledge of Raph to his full advantage, and like bro going at him and just making a lot of comments that like really gets on Raph's skin. But at the same time, I do feel like it doesn't really suit like Raph's character either, because I feel like he's definitely like heard a lot of like Mikey's jokes, and he's gone up against him quite a few times with like sparring and all that kind of stuff. That I feel like this wouldn't be such a big threat to him, but yet somehow it really gets on Raph's skin and it really annoys him to the point where he's like he lose focus and all that kind of stuff. And seeing like there's other characters that he's fought against, which I would say probably got on Raph's skin a lot more, but yeah, he's able to defeat them. It feels annoying, but at the same time, it really fits their character, so I can't complain all too much. But yeah, I really want to. But it was still a very entertaining fight. But yeah, after that, we do get to see Raph. He loses it and just starts smashing someone's head against the wall because he lost.
Now that was funny. I just see this poor guy, yeah, just like shaking him, and he's getting smacked against this wall. And the paramedics, well, whatever they are, they come in, try and stop him, and then they're just like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta stop this guy from killing this guy!" Like, yeah, like quick, use your power, like that. I was like, oh, Jesus. But yeah, literally everyone else is just like watching Raphael just smack this guy against the brick wall, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Raph, this guy's been through enough. Stop it! Like, you're gonna kill him.
I just think it's such a vibe. you can't even complain about it. It's just a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Then you've got Traximus who stops it, and then wants to take him out drinking.
Yep.
Again, another vibe.
Another vibe, yeah. Traximus basically saves that guy from being like splattered against the wall. It's like, come on, Raphael, drinks are on me. Let's go to the pub. Come on.
Yeah.
Talk about your day. Come on, you need it.
I mean, I enjoy this bit because like one got to see Toes actually drinking beer and all that kind of stuff. It was quite cool, and also seeing them reveal a lot more about Traximus' story, where he's able to escape the Triceratops arena and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, there wasn't really too much to the scene other than them just revealing that Spencer's being locked up. But I really enjoyed how this went out drinking afterwards. It's such a vibe. But
yeah, just two dudes going out for some drinks. Like, you can't beat it.
yeah, what do you think about that scene there?
Seeing the Traximus and Raphael just at a bar, just drinking this blue weird drink, whatever it is, must be beer or something from their home world, and just them talking about life. Like, it is such a vibe because, come on, like, you gotta have like a drink like once a week with a dude, and just like, it's just chill. It's just chill vibes. Everyone's just talking about it. Of course, Traximus is talking about how he escaped and how he owes him his life in a way. And then, of course, he refers back to what's happening in the real world. Like, he wants to recruit warriors to his cause to defeat the evil Traximus Prime. Traximus Prime? The Prime Leader, sorry. But yeah, no, it sounds like a hectic battle back in the actual space universe where the Federation and the Triceraton Empire just full-blown galactic warfare. That's pretty cool because it's referring back to like the first few seasons and just like, this is what's going on right now. I want to help my own people by getting warriors, and it is just really cool because he's referring back to what has happened previous, and I quite like that because it keeps us thinking about, oh my gosh, what's happening back in the real world. We're here in this dimension, but what's happening back in our dimension? Like, what's going on, who's winning the war? Just those stories make it a bit more wholesome.
Well, that bit there is actually set up to a future episode, so it's like there on purpose.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, and once you see, like, when you actually get to see what's happening with the war, you're gonna be speechless about it.
Really?
Yes. It turns into a 6-episode event.
6-episode? So you're telling me there's going to be a 6-episode galactic warfare against the Federation and the Triceraton Empire?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be good. That's giving me like Starship Trooper vibes right now.
Yeah, and to make it even better, because of it was the first time they did anything like that in Turtles. And that's slowly moved on into other versions of Turtles, just like the Adobe comics and even the 2012 show. So once you see in the 2012 show, you'd be like, oh shit, they did that in this version. We're going to be doing that in 2003. It's going to be...
Damn.
Yeah. What do you think about this episode overall?
Overall, I thought this was a pretty cool episode. Like, I've thoroughly enjoyed it because we're understanding a bit more on what's going on. We're trying to understand the plot twists as well. The Daimyo, the Ultimate Ninja, Draco, and the reasoning why he wants to be the Ultimate Ninja and rule the multiversal nexus and become the ninja. It was pretty interesting. And to figure out that all this deceit and corruption is deep within the system, I thought it was pretty cool. But of course, I can't say this is my favourite episode because we still got one more to go. At least to see what's going to happen, because I don't know how it's going to play out. My mind is just away with different ideas and thoughts. I can't actually piece together what's going to happen because we've got like 3 different stories going on at the moment. We've got Splinter in jail, we've got Raphael and Traximus having a drink, talking about what's going to happen, and then we've got Leo and then Donnie and everyone else trying to fight off the Shadow Ninjas, and there's like 3 different arcs going on at the same time, so there's a lot to process. But hopefully next week's episode we can wrap it up, and then I can finally then give my overall view on this whole little story arc in general.
Yeah, I have to say that I feel like this episode did a really good job of setting things up for next episode, while also raising the stakes with certain story arcs and giving us some very good vibe moments with certain characters.
Vibes.
And also some of the worst characters with the doctors, with their unique medical thing.
Oh, God. I would not trust him to be my doctor.
I can't tell if he'd be one of the best or one of the worst. I feel like he'd be like one of those kind of people, like the sidekicks, and be like, yes, in your future, your son's going to be a very famous and successful kid. He seems like one of those kind of guys.
Like, I see into the crystal ball and I see it. Oh jeez, I can't get over the fact what he was doing, like his space magic or something. I don't know what it was at this point. Like
He's
it's
a shit
weird.
doctor.
He's a crap doctor, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I bet why the medical bay is so empty is because all his patients are dead.
I wouldn't be too surprised. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Oh,
this is twice now. It's happened. We're just stuck on one doctor. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay. So with trivia, there wasn't really too much, other than there was like certain characters from early on in the season that made their appearance in this episode. Such as we got some of the characters from Kirby's world. They're in this world, but no sign of Kirby. And also we got to see. Do you remember in the space arc? We got to see one alien trying to hit on Mikey and goes, "Are you a book?" No, asking if it was like a library or a book because he wants to check him out. And we made a joke about how he was sexually assaulting him in Raph's voice. Do you remember that? Alien? Yeah, he was in. He was in this episode.
Oh wow.
But that's pretty much all the trivia there is. For the cast, okay, so for major characters, we've got Donatello voiced by Sam Riegel, Leonardo voiced by Michael St. Nicholas, Michelangelo voiced by Wayne Grayson, Raphael voiced by Frank Frankson, also known as Greg Abbey, Spencer voiced by Darren Dunstan. Minor characters, the Dumyo voiced by Mark Thompson, Ultimate Ninja voiced by Ted Lewis, Gyoji voiced by Oliver Wyman, Draco voiced by Mark Thompson, Yusuke Jimbo voiced by Jason Griffin, Jen voiced by Eric Stewart, Traxmas voiced by F.B. Owens or Frederick B. Owens, the Master Healer voiced by Eric Stewart. I don't want to credit him as him. He's done a lot of voices, and this is the only one which I don't think works. Because this is a person, you know, in Pokemon, the blind person, Rock, I think it's Brock. He does the voice for him, and yet now he's doing this voice. But how some of those characters end up in the minor character section? Like Dumyo, Ultimate Ninja, or Usagi? They're not minor characters in this episode.
No, like the Ultimate Ninja and Usagi. Sure, the Domio might be. Well, the Domio isn't because he's quite an important figure. But of course, he was out most of the episode because he almost got assassinated. So, I understand.
That's okay. Well, yeah. However, Leonardo was like in a very similar situation, and he's a major character.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Who's writing these IMDb page profiles? Like, seriously, they need to be changed.
Oh, this is for Totalpedia, which is supposed to be the number one spot place for all Total things, each episode, comic, and all that kind of stuff. And yet they screw it over by doing stuff like that. Okay,
someone needs to change that. Someone get the developer or someone just needs to change it.
Well, even in like next week's episode is the exact same. Like all major characters are the Turtles and Splinter, and then the minor characters are like all the exact same, like Draco, Domyo, Ultimate Ninja, Usagi. But yet, in the actual episode themselves, they're actually major characters in the actual episode. Okay, moving on. So what's your favourite part of the episode? Who do you think is going to be starting the episode? It's not one for Turtles.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think
it's a character from this story arc. I mean, also, well, I don't think that actually helps it because it would be from a character from this story arc.
Yeah, I'll be a bit concerned if it wasn't. That's kind of cheating now. Come on.
It's Casey Jones.
Yeah, it's not even in this story arc. Okay. Draco might be Draco, but I actually want to say Usagi Jimbo.
You should have gone with your first guess. It's Draco.
Oh, damn it! Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I can't.
I think that's the first time you ever swore like that much on the episode like this. Like, really, that kind of language for something like this? Really?
I swear, I didn't say it, did I?
You started it. It's very clear what you're about to say.
Well, I didn't want to get like monetized for this. We don't want to get like strikes for this. Come on now.
don't even want to be getting in trouble. You're the one who's safe. You can do whatever you like. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh yeah, you're the one getting in trouble. Well, you actually swear a few times now.
Not like that. I don't use language like that.
Oh well.
Okay.
The audience knows.
Anyway, moving on. What do you think is going to happen in next week's episode?
Oh well, first of all, I think Usagi Jimbo and Donnie are going to fight off the Shadow Ninjas, and I think the Domio is going to come back and help them out. I think Traximus and Raphael are going to break Splinter out of jail. They're going to bust in at the right time, save the day, and then I think they're going to return to the Battle Nexus and fight the last heroes, and going to save the day, sort of thing. That's my brief thoughts on it, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, you're mostly correct. It's more the basic general gist of it. But yeah, do you think else to say about this episode, or it's all done with this one?
To be honest, I'm sort of done with this episode. I've said what I've needed to say, really. We've gotten everything off our plates about that stupid doctor. Yeah, but no, I think I'm done. Like, we've said a lot. Besides, we've still got another episode to go, so there could be a lot more to come.
Yeah, I feel like the next week's episode we're going to have a lot more to say, just because of everything happened in that episode, and also just like speaking about the whole story arc in general. But, oh boy. But yeah, this has been another episode of Talking Tales. I've been your host, Teddy.
And I've been Hayden.
And we'll see you all soon. Goodbye. Yo. Bye.
Bye.